I have a quorum.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, got that. She's waiting in the room, so that's probably her. Are we ready to go?
All right, we are.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to call the Douglas School Committee to order on February 24th, 2025 at 6:30 p.m. I'd like to lead the Douglas mission statement. From Douglas Public Schools. The Douglas Public Schools offer a diverse learning experience that meet the academic, social, physical, and emotional needs of all of our students. We provide a safe, supportive, and challenge learning environment in which students may achieve academic success and personal growth. Decisions are made in the best interest of our students. I'd like to do a roll call, please. Who all is present from the school committee, please?
Beth Bergstrom present.
Teresa Brooks present.
Meg Rodson present.
Julia Lagerholm present.
Heather Moran present. Thank you so much. Do we have a student representative tonight?
We do not.
Do we have anybody here for public comment?
Do not see any.
Moving on to old business.
We do not have any.
Moving on to new business and the superintendent's report, please.
All right, we have one thing on the agenda tonight, and that is to start off by congratulating Courtney Keegan. Last week, she informed me of after 6 decades of working both for the municipal side. Well, you said you started at 16. That's 6 decades, right? After 6 decades of working in both the municipal side and the school side, and for both private and public sector, she is deciding to retire on her birthday this year. 6 decades is a long time. 13 years of loyal, dedicated, hard work for the Douglas Public Schools. So I just want to start off by congratulating Courtney, beginning this next chapter of her life after her birthday in early August. And she'll stick around till then. But it's, we've had the conversations back and forth, her and I, for a while, and it was, do I do another year? Do I not do another year? And it gets to a point where we know it's time to retire for health reasons, personal reasons. She has a list of things to do that's a mile long. You should see the notes section on her phone of places she wants to visit and things she wants to do, between her book that she's writing, her figure skating, her photography, her rock collection, visiting museums, spending time with her nephew and family. She has a busy time ahead. So to start off, congratulations to you, Courtney, on your announced retirement.
Thank you very much, Paul. And it was a very difficult decision to make. I'll tell you, you don't realize how difficult it is until you're there. But it just came down to, like Paul said, kind of going back and forth. But I think just somewhat for personal health reasons, but also wanting to be able to enjoy my life before I don't have one anymore, kind of thing. So, but I've said it many times. I've enjoyed working with everyone. We've got a great, school committee. I've said that a number of times. Enjoyed working with you, enjoyed working with Paul as well. And I've said it many times as well, and it is because I sincerely mean it, that everybody tries to, makes decisions, trying to do the right things for the right reasons, which you can't get better than that. We might not always agree or whatever, but it's kind of rare that we don't, you always ask good questions and, thoughtful process. But, I think, and we've got a good administrative team, leadership team as well. And, I'm sure that you will find someone and be in good stead moving forward. It is tough to leave. It's a big giant step. It is, and it's hard. It was very, very, very hard. I mean, even when I thought I made the decision, it took me forever to write the letter. It was really hard. So I don't want anyone to think that this decision was made lightly in any stretch of the imagination, but in the end, I do need to think about, what's best for me, which to be honest with you, I've hardly ever done in my entire life. I think at this point, I think for almost the first time, I need to think, what's good for me so I can have some enjoyment in life. So, but I will miss everyone. And we still have a ways to go. It's not like this is tomorrow, okay? So it's not 2 weeks from now or 3 weeks from now, this is months from now. So, but I've appreciated the support as well. I want to thank everyone for that as well.
So, and again, I feel bad. Courtney handed the letter in last week. And we're spending time now congratulating her. And my next sentence is going to be talking about the search for Courtney's placement. So just so the committee knows, and those of you who are watching on TV, we're probably going to be partnering with NASDAQ to help us do a search. NASDAQ is a company that assists school districts in recruiting and advertising and promoting administrative positions. One of the nice things about NASDAQ is they can recruit where technically we can't, and we shouldn't be calling people and encouraging them to apply. So NASDAQ, as part of the search that we're looking for, will put together a brochure and a profile of the district and what we're looking for. They'll do mailings to people across New England. They'll post on multiple job posting websites, and then they'll email the invitation personally for people to apply. So they have a far greater reach of trying to get candidates than we can by just posting on SchoolSpring. I have a contract for them that came in today. I'm looking to put it into place by the end of this week and hoping to post for the position end of this week, beginning of next week. We're looking to have the posting open for about 3 weeks. And we're probably going to be doing about 3 rounds of interviews. The first round of interviews, we're looking to do sometime either the week of March 24th or the week of March 31st. That first round, I'd like to have a member of the school committee present, a member of the administrative team present. We're going to be looking at people from central office being part of the committee, a principal. Courtney works closely with director of facilities and with food service. We'd like to have them on the committee. So we're looking to have about a 10-15 person committee for this first round. Looking to send invitations out to people beginning of next week as I'm still putting that together. And that'll be round 1. Round 2 will be a smaller committee, probably comprised of myself, Courtney, Jean from the town side, and office staff. And then the third round will probably just be Courtney and myself and the candidate. So the hope would be sometime around the end of April to appoint a person. So we're looking to do in 3 rounds. Looking for a July 1 start date. And the nice thing with Courtney staying on until August 1st is there'll be about a 5-week transition period where Courtney can hopefully train and work closely with that person. So again, found out about it on Tuesday. Courtney was there and she had the letter. She didn't have it in her hand. She had it stuffed in between a bunch of papers. And she's like, I have it here. She went to grab for it. Then she didn't. Then she went to grab for it and she didn't. And finally, on the 5th or 6th time, she finally handed me the letter. So still a work in progress, but we're looking again to post within the next week and a half, send out invitations for people to be on the committee in the next week and a half, and then start that interview process the end of March. Any questions from the committee? All right.
Just congratulations, Courtney. Excited for you.
Thank you. And thank you all for your kind words too, in your emails, both professionally and personally. I appreciate it.
And we're gonna be showering you with more kind words. I
Yeah.
don't want you to think that's the end. And I
Yeah.
love a good reason to maybe get together and celebrate.
Yeah.
Yep.
Awesome. And that's all I have for my report tonight.
That is all you have. We've used them before, correct?
We've used them before. They did the first time we used them, they did a bigger search. Again, they have 4 or 5 different levels, NASDAQ. This is just their base where we use their power to go out and advertise and recruit. They have a couple of different packages where they'll actually do focus groups, look at what the district needs, and that typically happens for a superintendent search or sometimes a principal search or a sped director search from central office. We all know what we need in the position. A lot of times they'll run the first round of searches or the second round. We don't need something that elaborate from them. We need their ability to go out and advertise, and they have a greater ability and a greater reach than we do.
So the reason I already knew the answer to the question, just for the public, right? That's how we wound up with you, right?
Yeah.
We did superintendent search, in the midst of COVID, right? How do you get, so, they did a phenomenal job for us. And so I think it behooves us, just money well spent for us to go and do this search to try to get the best of the best that's out there. Make sure that they're going to continue with the traditions and the regulatory compliance and all of that stuff, like, being fiscally conservative. I think that is definitely a question we want to be asking the, new director to come in, because I think that's going to be the key to our success, is just continuing to do the work that Courtney has done for us for many years.
Correct.
I would say we also, replace the best of the best with the best of the best.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's prudent. I'm prudently and conservatively agreeing.
Any other questions about the search? Awesome. Anything else on the superintendent's report?
That's it for tonight.
All right. I don't see, do we have a school committee subcommittee report for accounts payable? I didn't see anything.
No, we do not.
All right, over to our consent agenda. If we could please review the February 5th meeting minutes. And if nobody has any questions, I'd be looking for a motion.
I'll make the motion to approve the February 5th, 2025 meeting minutes.
Motion made by Julia, seconded by?
I'll second.
Second by Teresa. All those in favor, please state. We'll go around the room.
Beth Bergstrom, aye.
Teresa Brooks, aye.
Meg Rods and I.
Julia Lagerholm, aye.
Heather Moore and I. Thank you so much. Next one is the SOI approval for the school committee.
Okay, so at the last school committee meeting, I mentioned that the Massachusetts School Building Authority has about $300 million that they would like to allocate to schools for roofs, windows, and doors. In order for us to apply for the MSBA to even be considered for reimbursement, we need both Board of Selectmen vote to approve and school committee vote to approve. I went to the Board of Selectmen meeting, Courtney and I, last Tuesday, and presented them the information, and they said the same thing the committee said when I presented 2 weeks ago. So this sounds like a no-brainer. We read this long language, you apply, and if you're accepted, instead of paying 100% of the bill, we pay less than that. I said exactly. So in front of you, you have very, very wordy and lengthy language that needs to be submitted to the MSBA. And then if the committee is in agreement to approve that, we ask for an electronic digital signature of this that Lauren will send out tomorrow, and then we can apply. I want to try to get it in early. The deadline's March 21st, but I like to get it in early in case they notice something or something happens.
I
I'd rather
want to wait for the deadline.
Yeah, I don't want to wait to the last minute to do it. So, again, we would find out in late December if we've been accepted for the next step. And then from there, we would find out the parameters, and we would go out and find out what the cost is to replace the roof, what the cost is to replace the windows, what the cost is to replace the doors. We would have to go to the Board of Selectmen. They would have to put a warrant article on town meeting floor. And then at town meeting, people would either vote in the positive or the affirmative to support funding a roof project, window project, and door project. Any questions? who would like to take a deep breath and read?
I usually do, but I don't have the wording in front of me since my computer's not working, but I'll gladly second.
You want us to read the whole thing?
Yes, please.
Yeah, please.
Okay. So the whole thing that's listed in this, starting with
The
having
whole-
convened.
Mhm.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
The date, the date
okay.
too.
You're welcome. Sorry in advance. I would like to make a motion for the following reasons. Having convened in an open meeting on Monday, February 24th, 2025, prior to the SOI submission closing date, the Douglas School Committee of Douglas, Mass., in accordance with its charter, bylaws, and ordinances, has voted to authorize the superintendent to submit to the Massachusetts School Building Authority the statement of interest form dated March 2025 for the Douglas Primary School located at 17 Gleason Court, Douglas, Mass. 01516, which describes and explains the following deficiencies in the priority categories for which an application may be submitted to the Massachusetts School Building Authority in the future for the replacement, renovation, or modernization of school facility systems, such as roofs, windows, boilers, heating and ventilation systems, to increase energy conservation and decrease energy-related costs in a school facility, specifically 31,000 square feet of roofing, which is 32 years old, 26 windows, which are 46 years old, 4 exterior doors, which are 46 years old, and 1 exterior door, which is 22 years old. And hereby further specifically acknowledges that by submitting this statement of interest form, the Massachusetts School Building Authority in no way guarantees the acceptance or the approval of an application, the awarding of a grant, or any other funding commitment from the Massachusetts School Building Authority, or commits the town of Douglas to filing an application for funding with the Massachusetts School Building Authority.
Thank you.
Second,
Motion made by Julia, seconded by Teresa. I need a roll call vote around the room, please.
Beth Bergstrom, aye.
Teresa Brooks, aye.
Meg Rods and I.
Julia Lagerholm, aye.
Heather Moore and I. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
The next item on the list is the FY 2026, FY 2027 Telstone Bus Transportation Extension Years Approval, please.
Mhm. Okay, so on March 15th, 2022, I issued an invitation for bids, an IFB for student transportation services, and awarded a 3-year contract. And that was for FY 23 through FY 25 to Telstone and Son, Inc., with an option to renew for an additional 2 years, and that's FY 26 and 27. At the May 2021 town meeting, they did approve the awarding of the additional 2 years pursuant to approval of the school committee. So Telstone has been our bus company for many, many, many years. And many of their drivers have been driving the buses for many of the years. They know the school district, the staff, the students, the town, and the roads, which is very important, very well. And they've been an excellent contractor throughout all of these years. And they were very, as we know, this has been going on for many, many years, and it's probably going to be even harder going forward. There are very few bus companies bidding on these contracts. So typically you only receive 1 bid, and rarely do you receive 2. But I did do an analysis, and I did attach that here for FY 25 and 26, what the area towns are paying for their daily regular yellow bus rates. For those years. Grafton is still going out for FY 26. They don't have that. And then I put down what Douglas would be for 26 and 27, the 2 years that we're talking about. So their rates are definitely in line with area districts, and you can see what the other town with their averages. So at least it is in line. And as far as those years go, FY 26 is a 6.14% increase, in FY 27. Going from 25 to 26 is 6.14%. And then going from 26 to 27, there's a 3.9%, 3.97% increase. And also I want to remind the school committee that I did incorporate in the IFB a fuel increment language in there, so that we have been receiving checks think almost since the beginning, actually, if not since the beginning. They go to the town as miscellaneous revenue. So that worked out well for us to do that. So I am recommending that we do go with the renewal option years for FY 26 and 27. I didn't know if you had any questions.
Okay, I'd be looking for a motion, please.
I move to approve the renewal option years of FY 2026 and FY 2027 per the invitation of bids issued by Douglas Public Schools on March 15th, 2022 and awarded to Telstone and Son, Inc. with pricing as indicated on the bid proposal form.
Motion made by Meg, seconded by
Teresa,
Teresa. Can we do a roll call vote around, please?
Beth Bergstrom, aye.
Teresa Brooks, aye.
Meg Rods and I.
Julia Lagerholm, aye.
Heather Moore and I. Thanks. Next one is the FY 2026 Whitten Community Center before and after school care program.
Okay, thank you. The Whiten Community Center is a nonprofit located in Whitensville and has been providing before and after school program for our students, for the students of Douglas parents for a number of years. Their program is conveniently located in the primary school. They utilize 2 classrooms with the adjoining bathrooms and have use of the gym several times per week. They also utilize a playground, which is located directly outside the area of the school building where that they utilize. I have recommended an increase of the fee from $10,000 to $11,000, and they were fine with that. Whiten Community Center provides a program that is beneficial for the parents and the students. And it is conveniently located within our schools as well, which provides for ease of transition for the students and convenience for parents to pick up their children at the end of the day. And also the staff from the Whiten Community Center, they do work with, consistently work collaboratively with the school staff as well throughout the year. The revenue that we do receive goes in a facilities use revolving fund and can only be used for the primary school and for the facilities, which we have been using. So I did attach a copy of the contract as well. And I will be using some of these funds. I believe I do plan on using some of these funds, although we have been using them for the primary school for facilities. I am look to possibly be using some of the funds to an FY 20 to offset the FY 26 budget, like I've done, a few years before when we were really, really tight. Want to keep some of it for things that do come up that are unknown. So I'm still kind of making that determination on what figure to recommend to the school committee on that. But that's what the funds are used for. Are there any questions?
You're looking for a motion, please.
I move to approve the Whitten Community Center license fee of $11,000 for the FY 2026, 2025 to 2026 school year for the use of Douglas Primary School for the before and after school care program.
Motion made by Meg, seconded by
Julia,
Julia. Roll call vote, please, around.
Beth Bergstrom, aye.
Teresa Brooks, aye.
Meg Rods and I.
Julia Lagerholm, aye.
Heather Moore and I. Thanks. The
Okay.
next one is the FY 2026 school physician contract approval.
Yes, Mass General Law, Chapter 71, Section 53 requires a school committee to appoint a school physician. Dr. Sirocco has served as the district school physician for a number of years. I do check with her every year regarding the $3,500 fee. It has not ever gone up the entire time I've been here. So I did list here services that they do provide for the school district. And I didn't know if anybody had any additional questions.
If no one has any questions, I'd be looking for a motion.
I'll move to approve Dr. Elizabeth T. Sirocco as the school physician for fiscal year 2026, pursuant to MGL Chapter 71, Section 53.
Motion made by Julia, seconded by
Meg.
Meg. All those in favor with a roll call vote around the room, please.
Beth Bergstrom, aye.
Teresa Brooks, aye.
Meg Rats and I.
Julie Lagerholm, aye.
Heather Moore and I. Thank you. And last but not least is the FY 2026 Douglas High School and Douglas Middle School athletic fees approval.
So back, the district did approve and implemented an athletic fee schedule with caps. That was done in FY 20 for beginning in the FY 20 school year. And since that time, we have kept that same schedule as far as the caps. And we have had a fee of $180, but for just the regular fee. But also all these different caps for the high school and the middle school, it's $160 per student per sport and no cap. So we are recommending maintaining the same athletic fee for the 2025, 2026 school year, FY 26.
Any questions?
Yes, I do, if I may. So do these, because I'm learning all of this stuff as we go, are these the current fees now?
Yes, they are.
And these caps are in existence now?
Yes, that's correct. This one, the attachment, Julia,
Mhm.
all of this went in effect in FY 20.
Okay, so we are approving, I guess I'm confused why we're approving it now.
Oh, we have to do it every year just to make
Ah,
sure
got
that,
it.
yeah,
Got
we're
it.
doing it every year. Yeah.
Okay, so this is already the fees, nothing's changed.
Well, we're recommending that. It's certainly
Yeah.
up to the school committee each year to make that final determination of approval.
Got it.
But we're
Got it.
recommending maintaining the same fee that we've had currently. And the fee schedule as well, because we, like I said, prior to FY 2020, we didn't have any caps or anything. And then we instituted this, that if you have, you're playing more seasons or you have more athletes playing from the same family, as I attached.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do students struggle or families struggle to pay this? Because it's a lot of money.
No, I haven't had any, there haven't been any issues. I haven't heard of any issues. But
And-
also they do have the ability to apply for a waiver. And I meant to count them because I handled that this year, if you recall, because we had to do that whole new
Yep.
waiver thing. And I thought of it. I wrote it on a sticky and I forgot. I was going to tell you guys how many waivers, but there weren't that many.
Well, you're fired
Really
August
wasn't that
2nd.
But
kidding.
yeah, there really weren't that many. There wasn't any problem with that.
Okay, all right. I mean, it's just a ton. I would hate for anybody to not have access to a sport because
Mhm.
it's high. I think.
Yeah, no,
Do we
haven't
have a
had-
comparison of other towns and what these fees typically look like?
No, I do not have that. Because I know
I
it goes
just know
it's
the
kind
high
of all
school-
over the place.
There's only one other
over.
high school, right? You're going to Nipmuc or BVT. BVT is $50.
Mhm.
So
We have not.
But we
these-
can't compare to BVT because
I-
BVT has a lot more money, yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
But-
We've not gone up in 5 years.
yeah,
we've
know-
held that.
So I know that when we did this
Mhm.
5 years ago, we did a comp to districts
Mhm.
that the fees are in front of you
yeah,
on the second page were comparable to what other districts were doing for the FY 2021 school year when we did this. And we have not gone up in the
yeah,
past.
20.
5
Yes, it's FY
years.
20, you're
I
right.
can't speak to if the other districts have gone up, but I would imagine
Mm,
at least one of them has. So if this
Oh,
was
yeah.
in line in 2020, in FY 20, I would
Mhm.
imagine it's in line still because fees don't go down, they go up.
Yeah, and that was six years ago, like Paul said, so it was a while back. And the other thing I want to remind people is when we had those financial struggles a year back, we had to pull the entire program out of the budget. And let me tell you, nobody thought it was going to happen, but it did. And it's only through enormous hard work and dedication of a few ladies that went out and really busted themselves, bringing in just under $100,000 to keep
Wow.
that program afloat. And that can never happen again. That will never happen again. But we lost the whole program for a year.
As a parent of students who were in athletics during that time,
Mm,
it did go away and it was completely fundraised and parent funded and
yep.
hustling to make sure our students still have the opportunity to play. So we
Mm.
don't go back there. I would much rather see
Yeah.
fees with a cap than what it was.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
Can I just ask one question about the middle school?
Mhm.
So it's no cap, meaning, so if you had multiple students at the middle school, family with a cap. So there's a cap at the high school, but not at the middle school? That seems like,
Right. Yeah, that's the way it was set up. Yeah. And again, I haven't heard of any issues, and I don't know, Meg, if maybe in the future, if the program gets really, if it did get really large, if that might be a problem. Because there's so few sports at the middle school, so maybe, maybe if it expands or something, there really
Oh.
aren't that many sports to begin with, so I think that's why.
because most of them are actually playing JV,
high
so they're
school.
playing the high school fees anyways.
Correct.
Got
Oh,
it.
that
Okay.
too, I forgot about that too, exactly.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah. And also because they don't have that many, it's a much, much, much smaller program. But in the
But if you're-
future,
But if you're in middle school and if you had multiple kids playing
Mhm.
high school sports, you would still qualify for the cap.
You would.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. That's good to know.
Yeah.
Any other discussion? I'd be looking for a motion, please.
I move to approve the attached FY 2026 recommended athletic fee schedule, Douglas High School and Douglas Middle School proposed school committee meeting, February 24th, 2025.
Motion made by Meg, seconded by
Teresa,
Teresa. Roll call vote around the room, please.
Beth Bergstrom, I.
Teresa Brooks, aye.
Meg Rods and I.
Julia Lagerholm, aye.
Heather Moore and I. Thanks. Do we have anything else under the consent agenda that we need to address?
No, we do not, and I also do not have any transfers or reclassifications this evening.
Woohoo! Any topics not anticipated?
Not tonight.
So the next school committee meeting is the 19th, and that's when you'll presenting the budget, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, the update on the budget, correct. Mm-hmm.
And tomorrow night, you guys go to FinCon, right, in town to
Correct.
present the school committee's budget to them.
Correct.
Yep, the same one that we presented to the school committee.
Yep.
Yeah.
So if nobody else has got anything else, I'd be looking for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second,
Meg.
motion made by Julia, seconded by Meg. Roll call vote around the room, please.
Beth Bergstrom,
Teresa Brooks, aye.
Meg Rods and I.
Julia Lagerholm, aye.
Heather Moore and I. Thank you so much, everyone.